With a stretch of hot weather impacting the region, it is important to remind people that extreme heat can quickly become a medical emergency. From heat exhaustion to heat stroke, dangerous temperatures can pose serious risks. Joining us today to tell us more about this is Dr. Alfred Croteau, acute care surgeon with the Hartford Healthcare Medical Group. Doctor, thank you for your time. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Let's start with this. What are the biggest health risks people should be aware of during this heat?
Yeah, so most people think of heat as just being uncomfortable, but it can actually become life-threatening. Every summer, we treat patients who underestimate how quickly extreme heat can overwhelm the body's ability to cool. So the three big things I want people to be aware of are dehydration, heat exhaustion, and the really serious one, heat stroke. As we lose fluids, our body finds it harder to regulate our temperature, and that can lead to things like dizziness or confusion, or even severe organ failure.
And what are the warning signs and I guess the differences here? Because a lot of people don't know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
Absolutely, a great question. So heat exhaustion is the body's warning sign. People can experience things like fatigue, heavy sweating, headache, nausea, muscle cramps, dizziness, just kind of a faint feeling. And the key there is to get out of the heat, cool down, and get hydrated. Heat stroke, on the other hand, is a true medical emergency. You really should be seeking medical help. And that's where you really see altered mental status. People are not thinking clearly. They're not able to communicate. They can't, they may be in or out of consciousness, and their body temperature is consistently above, 103, 104 degrees.
Wow.
Someone who's confused, acting like that, you need to call 911 because minutes matter.
Minutes matter. Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned hydration, and I want to ask you this question. Is it true that sometimes plain old water is just not enough?
Yeah, so as we sweat, we lose water, but we also lose the salts and what we call electrolytes in our blood and in our body. And so it's important to replenish everything that we're losing. So using drinks and hydration that kind of give you electrolytes as well can be very important, especially for if you're doing a lot of activity. So our young ones who are playing sports or out in the sun, they can have derangements quickly. So we want to make sure that we hydrate them appropriately.
And I'm happy you pointed that out because some people may not realize, when you think you are dehydrated, you think the last thing your body needs is more salt, but it's talking about the right kind of salt or the electrolytes here. And when we look at those electrolyte packets, let's say, or those Gatorade drinks, they have a lot of salt, but long story, it is needed sometimes in those instances. As we wrap up here, doctor, just point out for us, who are the most vulnerable people during this extreme heat?
The most vulnerable are elderly adults, young children, people with heart and lung problems, people who are working outdoors and can't get into the shade very easily, and anybody without reliable air conditioning. We often say, check on people, not just the weather. It's really important to check on these people and make sure they're doing okay.
I like that saying, check on people, not just the weather. Thank you so much for your time.